Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here, for taking this Saturday morning to be with us for this next hour. This is our Coyotes Connect Next Step session. We are going to be talking to you a lot about CSUSB. So first, let me move this. I feel like I'm in a spaceship with a bunch of windows. All righty. So my name is Jonathan Gonzalez Montelongo. I use he, him pronouns. I'm the Visitor Services and Events Coordinator in our Campus Tours and Visitor Center. Before we get started with our program, I wanted to do a quick land acknowledgement. So if you allow me to read this next slide to you. We recognize that California State University San Bernardino sits on the territory and ancestral land of the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians, Yahaviatam. We recognize that every member of the California State University San Bernardino community has benefited and continues to benefit from the use and occupation of this land since the institution's founding in 1965. Consistent with our values of community and diversity, we have a responsibility to acknowledge and make visible the university's relationship to Native peoples. By offering this land acknowledgement, we affirm Indigenous sovereignty, and we will work to hold Cal State San Bernardino more accountable to the needs of American Indian and Indigenous peoples. So thank you all so much. Today, real quick rundown, we're going to start with our Office of Admissions, Outreach and Student Recruitment. Then we will move on to our Financial Aid and Scholarships Office. Then orientation will be next. And then Coyote First Step, we'll try to end the program with a quick Q&A. And then we'll try to get you out of here, not at 10 a.m., but at 11 a.m. Sorry for that typo. But without further ado, I'm going to get y'all started with our Office of Admissions, Outreach and Student Recruitment. So first is going to be Brandon Landrum. Welcome, take it away.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome everybody to the Coyotes Next Steps. My name is Brandon Landrum, and I have the privilege to have my colleague, Nicholas. I'll let him introduce himself right now.
Hey, everyone. My name's Nicholas Clements, admissions counselor and recruiter, and we'll be talking to you about the next steps for admissions. So take it away, Brandon.
Awesome. Next slide, please. So today's topics, we're going to go over 7 different topics today. We're going to basically cover your My Coyote account and student emails. Also, a transcript and other required documents, how to accept and decline your admissions offer, paying your enrollment confirmation deposit, the appeals process, enrollment deadlines, and also other important reminders that you're going to need to know. So I'm going to go ahead and take it away. How to activate your My Coyote account. A lot of you should have already done this so far, but the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to enter your user information. So one of the things that you're going to need your Coyote ID, also your preferred first, last name, and also your full birth date. And also, in addition to that, you're going to have to review and accept the terms of our CSUSB policy. And then if you have any questions about how to activate your account, you can simply go to the link listed below at csusb.edu/myaccount. Some of the things that we don't want you to forget, check your CSUSB email. This is how we're going to get in contact with you if we need anything from you, whether if it's an important document, if we need to meet with you, we'll send it through our email. And also check your to-dos on your My Coyote account frequently, just because that's how we get in contact with you, to let you know if you have a hold on your account. And if you do have a hold on your account, it will give you the necessary steps to contact whichever office you have a hold with. So make sure that you please check your task. So one of the things, just going over the timeline of how we got to where we're at right now, official transcripts were due back on February 15th. This is just the deadline to submit partial official transcripts from all colleges and universities that you attended if you're a transfer student. If you're a first-time freshman attending this, we haven't asked for any partial official transcripts. But we do prefer for the future electronic transcripts, and you can send that to the admissions apps at csusb.edu. And then we also do accept hard copies by mail sealed in an envelope. This is our mailing information at you, basically attention it to CSUSB admissions. And then our address is 5500 University Parkway, San Bernardino, California, 92407. And then if you're looking to drop them off, we do have two drop-off boxes, one at the San Bernardino main campus, and then also one at the Palm Desert campus, right at the Roger Gateway building. And then other documents to be submitted, February 15th, again, the deadline for documents, if you're not just turning in transcripts, we also do accept SAT, AP scores, IB, and CLEP exam scores. And then establishing proof of residency, if you do get that email, this will be the email that you send it to, residency@csusb.edu. And then for California non-residence tuition exemption, or the AB 540, you'll be able to click on this link and it'll take you to how to establish residency for the state of California and be as considered an in-state student. So I'm going to pass it to Nick, and Nick's going to talk about how to accept and decline your admissions offer.
All right, thank you, Brandon. So yeah, once you receive your admissions offer, and you'll get that in your My Coyote email. So like Brandon said, make sure you check that frequently. But once you get that offer, you'll navigate in your My Coyote portal to this tab right here, accept/decline admission. And you're going to click that. Once you click that button, you'll be sent through a series of steps asking if you want to accept or decline your admission. If you don't want to come to us, hit that decline button, but I'm assuming you do want to come to us, so hit accept, and then it's going to take you through a series of steps, and then you'll get to this page as well. It says pay ECD, the enrollment confirmation deposit. All right, so you click that button, and you'll navigate to this site right here, where you want to add the enrollment confirmation deposit of $100 to your virtual shopping cart. All right, you're not going to accept your admissions until you pay this enrollment confirmation deposit. So once you select that, you'll be able to check out. Other ways you can do this is if you go through My Financials and then make a payment. This is also in your My Coyote account. Make sure you read all of the notifications carefully. But similarly to on CashNet, this is another way you can do it. You'll add the enrollment confirmation deposit to your virtual shopping cart, and then you'll be able to pay. Like I said, read the information carefully, add it to your basket, check out, and then you'll be all set. So let's say you get you get an email and you get declined. What do you do? Well, if you feel like you were wrongfully declined, you do have the right to appeal. And so you have 15 business days from receiving your decline notice to appeal our decision, okay? But appeals can only be based on one of the following things. Credit not considered during the initial review of the application. So let's say you sent in the wrong transcript. You forgot to add a couple classes on there and we miscalculated the credits. Send that in. Miscalculation of transferable college credit, same situation. Maybe you forgot some classes or you forgot to send in your AP scores for credit. Send those in. You apply to an impacted major. Remember, our impacted majors do have higher requirements, higher GPA requirements, but now you want to be reconsidered for another major. That's another reason you can appeal, or special extenuating circumstances, and those are case by case. For more information, you can follow this link down below, but you'll also receive all this information in your decline letter in your email. All right, please read carefully all of that information. I know I went over it quickly, but like I said, you'll get it in your email. And if you have any questions about your appeal, if you sent your appeal in and you didn't hear anything back, email us at admit2csusb at CSUSB.edu. I know the email is a little confusing, but that will go directly to the appeals committee and they can look into your questions for you, okay?
All right.
I think
So
it's Brandon's turn, right?
it is.
All
Thank
right.
you, Nicholas. So enrollment deadlines. So March 2nd, these are the deadlines that are most important coming up. Some of them, just the first one has passed, but March 2nd was the final day to submit your financial aid application, or also known as FAFSA or California Dream Act for priority registration. May 1st is the last day to pay your confirmation deposit and accept your admissions offer within your My Coyote account. So please do that when you get a moment, if this is a school you want to go to. And we really hope that you do decide to come to Cal State San Bernardino. May 14th, transfer students orientation registration deadline is that day. So after you pay your confirmation deposit, please accept and also go to register for orientation. It's important that you go to orientation. You can do all the steps, but if you do not go to orientation, you will be dropped from the process, and we do not want to do that. Also, June 14th, first year students orientation registration deadline. So for all high school students that are coming to CSUSB, you definitely make sure that you register for orientation. And the last thing that we need is on July 15th to submit any final transcripts that you may have, or any other documents that we may need from you. That's due no later than July 15th. So other important reminders, make sure, again, I know we emphasized it all throughout this presentation, check your to-dos list and also look at your CSUSB emails. You never know what's in there. You'll get stuff from not only the admissions office, but possibly from financial aid or other campuses or other campus offices as well. Most students will have an admissions decision by April 1st. You also don't want to miss deadlines and clear your holds. The holds are very important, just as important as the deadlines. We also do have a wonderful campus tours in the events office on our campus. Take a virtual tour. You can see our campus if you haven't been to our school. It's a wonderful virtual tour that they give at our university. So definitely plan it. Also, remember that your admissions decision is not final until we review your official transcripts and all other documents. If you do have any further questions, you can always contact our CSUSB admissions office at 909-537-5188, or you can email us at moreinfo@csusb.edu. And then last but not least, we do have our Coyotes Next Step workshop. So our next one is going to be on the topic of how to accept your admissions offer and pay your enrollment confirmation deposit, admissions timeline, and then also the Educational Opportunity Program, also known as EOP. They're going to talk about their process, and that's actually going to be happening this Monday, March 22nd, from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And it'll be hosted by yours truly, Mr. Brandon Landrum. I'm talking to you right now. And then we also do have another counselor, Salvador Perez. So if you plan on going to this, please use this link right here to sign up. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday at 3 p.m. So without further ado, I just want to say thank you. Me and Nick really love presenting to you all. And Nick, you have anything you want to say?
Oh, thank you, everyone. I put our contact information in the chat. So if you do have questions, send us an email or give us a call Monday through Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Contact us. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Brandon and Nick, for that. Next, we have our Office of Financial Aid and Scholarships, Ms. Veronica Medina, who's going to present to us about that. So take it away.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Veronica Medina. I'm coming from the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarship. So I'm going to go over a little bit about our information. So we are located physically in the University Hall, Building 150. This is our general number in case you have any questions. Our fax number. We are currently working virtually, so our operating hours are Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. Let's go to our next slide. So what is the FAFSA? The FAFSA is a free application for federal student aid. This should have already been completed, hopefully, and it's being completed at fafsa.ed.gov. The applications open every October 1st of every year, and the priority deadline is March 2nd. So it is important that once you complete your application for the first time, you renew it every year for the next couple of years that you'll be in school, for the next few years. The deadline, the priority deadline is used to determine eligibility for federal, state, institutional aid, such as grants, work study, and federal grants, federal student loans. So it is important that you complete this within the priority deadline. This does not mean if you haven't done your FAFSA yet, you can no longer do it. You could still do it. However, the priority deadline does use to determine some additional aid that you potentially could be available for. Next one. We also have the California DREAM Act. So this allows students at eligible California colleges and universities to apply for state aid. This is completed through California Student Aid Commission. So this is the link where you could complete this application, and it also uses the priority deadline of March 2nd. Same thing applies if you haven't completed as of yet, and you will be completing the California DREAM Act application, you could still complete it. However, just keep in mind that priority deadline is going to be important for a lot of your financial aid. So I'm going to go over the financial aid timeline. So between October and March, students complete their financial aid and scholarship application to meet the priority deadlines. Between February and March, we do start notifying students of any additional documents needed to process their financial aid. This year, we started sending out the notification around February 8th. What that basically means is if you do need any additional documents to be submitted to our office, it is important that you submit those to our office so that we could process any pending items that you have. It's important to check on your to-do list, your emails, if we've sent you any emails or added any items to your to-do list, because that's going to be holding your financial aid to be issued for this coming school year 21-22. Between March and in March, end of March, financial aid awarding begins for upcoming school year. So once we clear everything, if you had any pending documents, we will start setting your financial aid award. If you didn't have any pending items, your financial aid award will be issued around March, end of March, early April. And between May and June, CSUSB scholarship recipients are notified and awarded of any scholarships that they had probably applied for, and if they were awarded as a recipient. So this would be the process between May and June. There will be additional steps to do for your scholarship, such as a thank you letter. So it is important, check your email, check your to-do list, because any pending items will go onto your account of your email and your to-do list notifications. In August, financial aid is dispersed beginning 10 days prior to your first day of the fall semester. So keep in mind, this awarding is for your 21-22 academic year, which will start July 1st. So August would be your fall semester, 10 days prior to school starting. Assuming everything has been cleared, you don't have any pending items, you don't have any hold on your account, your financial aid will be released. So it is important for you to make sure you've submitted all your documents. Please keep in mind the financial aid is issued out to Student Financial Services first to pay for any outstanding balance, and then any extra money will be sent out to you as a refund. So these are some financial aid quick tips. It's very important. Please apply early each year. Remember that for FAFSA and California DREAM Act, applications are available starting October 1st of every year. Priority deadline March 2nd. CSUSB scholarships open December 1st and they close March 2nd. So it is important, if you are interested in any scholarships, that you look at those and apply and submit everything that is required before March 2nd or on March 2nd, the latest. Always check my Coyote email and your student portal often for official information and review and clear any holds or any to-dos. It's important, just like admissions mentioned, that you are checking your email or your to-do list and tasks, so that if you have any pending items for any department, that you are clearing those out within the deadlines that are given to you. Respond to any document request as soon as possible. This is important because we're getting hundreds of them on a daily basis, and that way we could expedite them faster and clear your file so that you could get your financial aid award on a timely manner. So now we're going to go into your CSUSB financial aid disbursement. So this is the fun part. This is when the money goes out. So if aid does not cover all of your fees, you are responsible for paying any outstanding balance by the due date to avoid being dropped from your term. Most disbursements occur 10 days prior to before your first day of class of each semester if you don't have any holds. You are encouraged to apply for direct deposit. We always encourage the students to apply for direct deposit because this will go ahead and expedite your refund, and you'll have it in a much sooner than an actual check. Disbursement, disbursed aid is credited to each student's account. If there are any remaining funds, a refund will be sent either by direct deposit or mail. Please allow 5 to 10 working days to receive your refund, especially if you're going to receive it by mail. We have no control on the mailman or mail lady, so just be careful with that. That it's easier just to set up for direct deposit, and you could always do this on your student account, okay? So the student loan information. If you are, loan borrowers must accept their loan on My Coyote portal every academic year. So if you are interested, when you received your award, you will get your grants, scholarships if you're eligible for any, and then we'll offer you student loans. The reason why I say we'll offer you student loans, we will automatically accept any grants or scholarships and tax-free money that you will not pay back. If you are interested in getting additional aid, financial aid to cover your tuition and your fees, you could do so by accepting your student loans. However, you as a student has to accept the student loans under My Coyote, under your student account and My Financials. You will be able to go ahead and accept your student loan. Once you complete your student loan, as a first-time borrower at CSUSB, you must complete a master promissory note and complete a loan entrance counseling form. These two items will be added to your to-do list about 5 to 7 days after you accept your student loan. You will complete those items, and the link will be provided to you on your to-do list by visiting studentloans.gov. If you previously borrowed at a different campus, you will still need to complete this as a first-time borrower at our institution. You will need to complete it for a first time. It is important that you understand, once you complete it for the first time, once you do this 2 steps, the entrance counseling and master promissory note, you don't have to do those additional steps for the future years that you choose to borrow student loans, but you do have to accept your student loans every academic year. Okay. So here's our contact resource information. The FAFSA is the fafsa.ed.gov website. For the California DREAM application, it's dream.csac.ca.gov. For our federal student aid, which would be your master promissory notes for you to view your accounts, that would be through studentaid.gov. And the Cal Grant Middle Class Scholarship, as well as the Chafee Grant, those are provided through California Student Aid Commissions under my web grants. And you would go to my grant info at csac.ca.gov. For our school federal code, if you were ever asked what's our federal code, and when you actually enter it on our your FAFSA, it will be the 001142. So we have completed future presentations that we've done. We are now, we have completed 2 sessions already to learn about your 50-20-30 budget. We did complete understanding your CSUSB financial aid package, session 1. However, we do have additional session, which is going to be session 2 right here. This one's going to be scheduled on April 6th between 3 and 4. Please register if you are interested in knowing how your CSUSB award is, what you've received on your financial aid, how you would accept your student loans, and any additional questions you have on how financial aid is applied to your student tuition and any additional fees. So if you are interested, please register. Here's the link. Register for this last session that we have, which will be held on April 6th. With that, we conclude our presentation. This is our general information. So we are located in the Office of Financial Aid, which is going to be University Hall in the main campus. This is our main phone number. My name is Veronica Medina. If you have any questions regarding your financial aid or your to-do list, or you submitted your items and you still see them pending, please feel free to take down my email. I will also drop it on the chat box. Send me an email with your Coyote ID. I will take a look and see what is going on your account if we are pending additional documents. Like I said, we do receive these by hundreds daily. So we are trying to process them as fast as possible. Please allow 1 to 2 weeks from the time you've actually sent them, submitted your documents, for us to get through them. So if you still show them pending, it's most likely and you just submitted them a couple of days ago, we're still processing them and we should be clearing them pretty soon. For any additional forms or information, you could always visit our financial aid website at CSUSB.edu financial aid. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Veronica. So next, moving on, we're going to be talking about orientation and the first year experience. So I'll turn that over to Brian Willis.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Brian Willis. I use the pronouns he and him, and I am the director of our orientation and transition programs here at Cal State San Bernardino. First, I just want everybody, the few people that have their cameras on, it seems like there's been a lot of information. So, and I also want to give Gloria, our interpreter, a little bit of a handbrake. So if everybody just takes a deep breath, a lot of information, you're going to get a lot of information going on. But I'm here to talk a little bit about orientation for our transfer students, our first year students, and then also our parents. And so what I like to do before I get started on all the information I'm going to give you. If you are by your computer, if you're still by your computer or something, on the bottom of your Zoom, there's the little reactions button. I'm going to ask, if you are a transfer student coming from a community college or a other four-year institution, if you can use the thumbs up reaction, I want to see how many transfer students that are attending. I see one, Jacqueline, transfer. We got some transfer students in there. Awesome. This is great. So we're going to go over some transfer orientation information for you. Again, using the reactions button on the bottom, if you are a first year freshman coming from a high school, if you want to use the celebration kind of emoji that's in there, identify that you are coming from a high school. You want to click on that. Got a couple. There we go. I see Jonathan put his up. Eden's put his up as well. I appreciate all of you identifying yourselves. And then last but not least, if there are any parents or family members or guardians that are watching along, if you want to use the heart emoji, so we know that you are also participating in this presentation as well. We've got some information for you. I'm scrolling, I'm looking, doesn't look like we have any parents listening today, which is okay, because students, you can pass all this information on to your parents. Oh, I see one heart, Annabelle. You got your parents coming today, which is awesome. So next slide, Jonathan. So we're going to get into things here just really quickly. So again, what is orientation? Primarily, it is a way that we welcome you and start to introduce you to the Cal State San Bernardino campus, both here at San Bernardino and also the Palm Desert. So if you're attending courses at Palm Desert campus, we have orientation for you. The one thing I do want to reiterate or stress is that orientation is mandatory for all new students. So again, if you're a transfer student or a first year student, you must attend orientation to continue on with registration for your fall courses. And so it's important that you come through orientation. You get to learn a lot about the campus. You'll make some connections with some of our student leaders, our orientation leaders. And so orientation is really just kind of the gateway to your coming to Cal State San Bernardino. Next slide, Jonathan. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about orientation this year. As you all know, we are dealing with a pandemic, and so our orientation is going to be virtual. So all aspects of this is going to be done online. And the way that we've broken down orientation for you this year is you will receive a pre-orientation program. And that will happen after you pay your enrollment confirmation deposit. So both Brandon and Nicholas talked a little bit the steps that you need to take to pay your enrollment confirmation deposit. So once you pay that and you've accepted your admissions, you will get an email for your pre-orientation program. That's all done online. It's at your own pace, but there's a lot of information about academics, getting involved, safety on campus, campus resources. And so all of that is in the pre-orientation. The next part, this live webinar, we're calling it Orientation Live. That is the program that you must register for. And then that will where we will count your attendance of attending orientation. The reason why we do it live and it's a live webinar is because our academic advisors will meet with all of you and spend some time talking about the courses that you will need to register for. So Veronica will also be there to talk a little bit about financial aid. So I know there was a lot of information she provided, but she will also cover some of that again at orientation, as well as some new information. But the live webinar is really the meat and potatoes, I think, of orientation. And then the last part of your orientation experience is in the fall, you'll get some email communication about some enhanced programming that we do to help with your transition, whether you're a transfer student or a first-year student, and it doesn't matter which campus you're coming to. So again, you must first accept your admissions and pay your enrollment confirmation deposit before you can get in to register for your orientation. All right, next slide. So I'm going to talk to you, our transfer students for a little bit, and then I'm going to switch to our first-year students. And so it's going to sound very similar. I also want to reiterate, almost all this information is also on our webpage. So if I go too fast or you miss something, always visit our webpage and I'll give you that link at the end. So again, the live webinar is required for all students. We have about 3,000 new students starting in the fall. So there's a lot of transfer students coming in from our community colleges, and we're happy to have you. Registration is now open. So if you've paid your enrollment confirmation deposit and you give it about 24 hours after you pay, you will be able to go register. And I will show you the steps of how to get in and register for your orientation. You will see a one-time orientation fee that will be added to your fall tuition or your fall kind of bill. And that is paid once. You don't have to pay anything up front. You don't have to pay anything when you register. That gets added to your, like I said, your fall bill, so to speak. And if you receive financial aid, which many of you will, if you have enough aid, so again, if you have enough money that covers your tuition and you have some money, some of that money can cover your orientation fee. So for many of our students, they don't pay anything because financial aid will also cover the orientation fee. So, but if it doesn't, that is the cost for orientation. It covers a lot of our programming fees. What you'll see now is some of the dates for our San Bernardino campus. And then the next slide, we'll talk about the dates for our Palm Desert campus. We have about 300 students per session. Again, out of that 3,000, you can see that we have to have multiple sessions. Our orientation starts April 28th. If you are in the College of Arts and Letters or Natural Sciences, you can sign up for one of those dates and you can see the time. And then the next day, if you're in the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences or Business, and all of that is dependent on what major you've been admitted into. So based on your major, you're also part of a college. If you want to find out what college goes with what major, you can visit our webpage. It has it all listed. As you can see, Our orientation times, 9 to 1, that's quite a bit of chunk of time. It's about 4 hours that we're asking you to commit to the live orientation live webinar. For many of you, you may be working, and so we have some Saturday dates as well. And for our Saturday date, you can be any college, any major, and you can see the time as well. And so, like I said, all of this is listed on our webpage. You can see the dates and times. So before you register for your orientation, please be mindful. You need to be there the whole time. Please don't skip out to go to work, or make sure that you have adequate childcare if you need to focus and find somebody to watch your children, or just let your spouse know, right? Like, hey, I need to focus on orientation right now. So I'm ready to start my journey at Cal State. Next slide. So as you can see, there are more dates. Another Saturday on May 8th. And then most of our transfer, or all of our transfer sessions, will conclude by May 27th. So we know many of you are probably still like, hey, I'm still finishing at the community college, or I'm still finishing up the semester. But we know that, and so again, we will work with you on classes that you're currently taking. It's also very important that you've turned in your partial transcript, so that when you go to registration, we know all the courses that you've taken and then what you still have in progress, so that we can advise you properly. If you'll be attending the Palm Desert campus, you can see the dates there as well. They have 4 sessions, and then they also have a Saturday session as well. I also want to reiterate, again, our registration deadline. That means you have to have registered for an orientation date by Friday, May 14th by 5 p.m. If you do not register by that time, again, it may put your eligibility or to continue to register for classes in jeopardy. So I can't say that you'll completely be out, but we want to make sure that you meet all of the deadlines. All right, we're going to turn to our first year students. I think you skipped go back a slide, Jonathan. There you go. So for our first year students, these are all our students coming from our high schools. Again, required for you. Registration isn't open quite for you as well. So if you've already paid your enrollment confirmation deposit, we will be opening your registration in the beginning of April. So check back with that. You will also get communication and email once it has been opened. You have the exact same fee. Again, it's applied to your fall tuition. All the things I talked about with the transfers applies to you as well. But you will see your orientation dates do not start until June. So June is when our first year orientation session will be. Yours is also 4 hours long. So again, plan accordingly. And then we don't divide them up by college. And so you can be any college of any major to pick any of the days. So pick days that work for you. If you have a family vacation because all of you have taken your COVID vaccine and you want to travel, make sure you don't pick a day that conflicts with your orientation as well. And so again, all these dates are listed on our webpage. Next slide. So again, these are the dates for our Palm Desert campus. Palm Desert has 3 sessions that they are providing this year. They don't admit as many students as the San Bernardino campus, and so they don't have to have as many sessions, but their sessions are just as important. They go over academic information, make sure you get registered for your classes. And then the deadline for you is Monday, June 14th by 5 p.m. So again, make sure that you register and you attend the program completely. Next slide. All right, we've been talking to our students, parents. We also have orientation programming for you as well. It is optional for you to attend and is only available for our first year students who are coming from high school. So if your parents want to attend, they can sign up when you sign up, or we will send information to them. We offer our program in both English and in Spanish, and our programs are topic specific. And so they are 1-hour workshops or presentations that cover financial aid or financing college, academic success. So we kind of talk about what your student would be doing or needing to do to be academically successful. We cover some campus resources, so specifically campus police and parking, parking transportation, on-campus housing, and then student health and wellness. Those are the three main kind of areas that we talk about. And then we have another workshop that just talks about supporting your first-year students. So what can you expect? How can you be an ally with us at the university to help your students succeed in their academic goals? Next slide. And then these are the dates. So each session we are going to do twice. And so I'm going to reiterate, it's all on our webpage. I know it's a lot to cover. If you want to take a picture, you can. But like I said, it's easier on our webpage. And then each session that is listed is, like I said, is done in, we offer it in both English and in Spanish. So if you are more comfortable, or if your parents are more comfortable speaking Spanish, we offer each session in both languages. So, and as you can see, it goes all the way through June through July. And those are the dates for our parent orientation. For our folks that are out in our Palm Desert campus, we offer one English session on June 22nd, and then our Spanish session on June 23rd. There is no cost for your parents to attend. This is all done virtually. So we encourage you, if you want to get some more information or you're curious, always ask questions. Please let your parents know that we are here to support them as well. All right, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about how to register for orientation, the next 4 slides. And so when you log on to the main page of Cal State San Bernardino, it's hard to see that little arrow because it's red, but on the very top, it says My Coyote. You will click on the My Coyote tab so you can log in. Both Brandon talked about how to log in and register for your My Coyote. So once you click that, it will take you to the next slide. There you will put in your Coyote ID and password that you have set up with the university. So this will be your login. This is something you're going to get very, very familiar with because you're probably going to do it on a daily basis. So get familiar, log into your My Coyote, put in your login information, make sure you have it handy, all that kind of stuff. Next slide. Once you get logged into your My Coyote, you're going to go to this tab or this tile that says My Task. So My Task, we talked a little bit about earlier. It talks about orientation hold, or talks about holds of the university, to-do lists. You'll hit that as well. So that My Task will get you to orientation registration. Once you hit that tab to register for orientation, that is where you will find the dates. You'll put in a little bit of information, contact information, your name, that kind of stuff. And then you'll pick your orientation live date. So remember, that's the date that you will have your live webinar. The online piece we will send to you in an email. The other thing about your My Coyote is that is also, once you log into your My Coyote, that's where you'll check your CSUSB email. You'll see a tab for that as well. You'll get very familiar with My Coyote. You can't break it, so we encourage you to go in and click on tiles and check out things. So you'll see my holds, my to-do list. To-do lists are very important. They give you all that kind of great information. So this is how you register for orientation, but there's also some really great useful information about getting into your My Coyote. Next slide. So we're almost done with our presentation. Just some wrap-up reminders. Mandatory, you must attend orientation in its full completion. All students need to do this. The live webinar, which we're calling Orientation Live, is the piece that you need to attend and make sure you're there the whole time. When you go to register, make sure you register by whether you're a first year or transfer, because then it'll tell you the different dates that I showed you earlier. And then also if you're attending the San Bernardino campus or the Palm Desert campus, because again, it'll show the appropriate dates for each of the programs. And then once again, just reiterating that it is important you have an orientation hold. The hold is not lifted until you've attended orientation. So again, can't pass go, don't collect $200 if you play Monopoly until you complete orientation. And again, all of it is because the advising piece that is and helping you to register for your fall classes. And one more slide, it is our contact information. So again, if you have any questions about the process, if you need to reach us at any point, our webpage, as I said, has many of the same information I went over. You can always call us. But I would say the best way to get a hold of us is probably through email these days, just because we are working from home, but we will get back to you as soon as possible. So it's very simple. Our email is orientation@csusb.edu. You'll get a hold of Genesis. She's really great. She will answer your emails. And we look forward to seeing you at orientation. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Brian. So next we have to talk to us about Coyote First Step, Aurora Vilches. So take it away, Aurora.
Thank you, Jonathan. Good morning, everyone. It's great to see you all. My name, again, as Jonathan mentioned, is Aurora Vilches, and my pronouns are she and her. And I'm here to speak to you about our Early Start and Coyote First Step program at CSUSB. I am going to start off by apologizing to all of you who are transferring to us. This information, unfortunately, is not applicable to you. So with that said, I'm turning to my first time incoming freshmen. So yay, first year students coming straight from high school, and your parents, if they're with you. I'm here speaking to you. So what is this program? So this is a summer transition program. And if you are not aware, the Early Start program happens across all the Cal States. So we do have 23 CSU campuses, and there is an Early Start program in each and every one of them. And what that means is it's focusing on certain skill sets in mathematics and quantitative reasoning, as well as English and written communication. So it is an academic preparation transition program to support some of those academic skills. We want to make sure students feel prepared and ready for that college level math and English when they get to us in the fall. So how do you know if you need support? How do you know if you should participate in this program? There's a couple different ways. I am going to put a website in the chat. This is the general CSU studentsuccess.org website that talks about academic preparation. So, are you prepared academically? What was your high school academic experience? Did you take all 4 years of math? Did you do something beyond Algebra 2 or the Integrated Math 3? Things like that. Maybe you're in a math class right now, your senior year, that will help you prepare. So there's certain criteria that the what we call multiple measures looks at. And this year, because a lot of people don't have those standardized test scores like your SAT or ACT, you probably didn't take that Smarter Balance state exam last year in high school, and that's okay. We're going to use other measures, mostly your math GPA, to kind of use it to determine that academic placement. And so that website will tell you all about academic placement for math and English. And in the middle, there's an estimator that can help you decide, and it can help you figure out where your placement is. So we will also communicate this information to you, where you're academically placed and what that means if you should participate in this summer program. So if you are determined to need some support in the math portion, we call our program Coyote First Step. Using our acronym, STEP stands for Student Transition Enrichment Program. So we really want to bridge the gap between high school and college and what it's like to be a college student taking, college level coursework, right? So I know today's presentation got you a lot of the information about what you're doing as you're getting ready to enter the university. And this program kind of wants to make sure you're successful academically when you join us. So this specific program will begin June 1st, and then the math program goes as long as August 5th. So there's a QR code there that you can visit our website with a lot of information. And I'm also going to put the website in the chat, along with the email cfs@csusb.edu for questions, or our phone number. Information is being updated regularly, and the communication will begin going out next month. Because it is, as I mentioned, a program based on certain criteria, not all students not all incoming first-time freshmen will be invited. So it isn't considered an invitation program. Check that email. I know many of my colleagues have mentioned that already, how important your new CSUSB student email is going to be. This is one of those examples. You will know if you receive the invitation by checking your email, and that will start next month. This graphic here also is, the image of a postcard that will send in the mail to you. So, whoever checks the mail at your house, maybe parents might see that and say, oh yeah, I remember that program. Let's take a look. We will have additional workshops and information sessions to go really specific in what you do every day. June to August, I know seems like a long time, but class is not every day. But we can talk about what that looks like if you have any concerns about participating. But ultimately, it is free. That's the important message. You do not have to pay anything, and you earn academic credit in math or English. And so it gets you some units to help you get closer to your degree completion and earning that bachelor's degree. So that's all the information from me. Thank you, everyone. We're so excited, and I can't wait to see you in person in the fall.
Awesome. Thank you, Aurora. So that takes us to the end of our program here. So the last minute things before I turn it over to Q&A is just marking your calendars. I know Veronica talked about this, but we still have 2 sessions with financial aid, understanding your CSUSB financial aid package on April 7th. And then we also have our housing and residential education for session 3 on April 8th at 6:30 in the afternoon. So make sure that you check those out. And then just quickly, I'm gonna make a plug for our Multicultural Coyote Experience Day. This is gonna happen on April 12th from 4 to 5. We're gonna have different people from on campus come and talk to you about what it means to be an underrepresented student on campus, and other resources. So you should receive an invitation to this if you're an admitted student to campus. So make sure, again, that you're checking your My Coyote email. And lastly, I'm going to turn it over to Q&A. So if you have any other questions, you can use the raise hand feature. We have about 3 minutes left in our program. So please go ahead and raise your hand or type it in the chat and we'll ask some questions. We have a question from Jacqueline. And maybe this goes for Aurora. Are there any summer opportunities for transfer students?
Sorry, I was trying to press unmute. There are a couple of summer transition programs that certain departments do. Maybe it might not be a full-on academic program like Coyote First Step where you earn credit, but they may have sessions and information things for you to check out to learn more, maybe at the college level, some specific programs that are different centers might offer. If you're not already following on social media, the awesome transfer students page, I don't know if anybody has that link, maybe that that IG tag that could post in there to follow about specifically for transfer students in it, and just keep your eye out for things that they post there is what I would recommend.
Thank you. So maybe this goes, I don't know who it goes to. If you're registered for the San Bernardino campus, can you take classes at the Palm Desert campus? I'll let the panel choose who is our admissions folks.
So if you are a student at the main campus in San Bernardino, if there are classes that are offered out there, obviously it's going to be first priority for Palm Desert, but you can take classes at the Palm Desert campus. Just know that you will have to drive out there or catch the Coyote Cruiser, which is our
Sorry, Brandon, you're going in and out. You repeat that last part.
I say you could take classes at Cal State San Bernardino at the Palm Desert campus, but they're mainly prioritized for the students that are at the Palm Desert campus.
Awesome. Thank you. Adrian is asking, is it okay if I submitted my 2021-2022 selective service registration form in the mail since I was unable to do it electronically?
Yes, that's perfectly fine, Adrian. You could always send it to our address, address it to financial aid so that we could go ahead and clear that pending item on your to-do list.
Okay, Karina has a question about something on the transfer orientation session. What is the SBS at the end of transfer orientation online session, Thursday, April 29th?
Yeah, I just answered in the chat. It's SBS stands for Social and Behavioral Sciences. But I also noticed there's quite a few questions about orientation, so I want to address a couple. Somebody said that they paid their ECD and have not seen the email. The email doesn't go out automatically. We send them periodically, so we do it in batches. So if you did not get an email after you paid your ECD, just know 24 hours after you've paid your ECD, you should be able to go in and register for your orientation if you are a transfer student. So again, transfer student registration is open. First year orientation has not opened yet. So if you're a first year student and you paid your ECD, come the beginning of April, you will be able to go in and register for orientation. So you don't have to wait for the email. So go in, if you paid it, go in, log into your My Coyote and try and register. Trust me, you'll know if you can get in or not. But once we get our batch emails out, you do not have to wait for the email to register for orientation. So, and then the other question really quick, why do I only see 3 dates when I go into my orientation to register? Even though I listed all the dates, we always want to make sure that our orientation sessions are full. And so we only open up certain dates. So once the earlier sessions start getting full, we'll start opening up later dates. So if you see a later date that you want, you can always email us and we can put you into that date. But for now, we hold off on putting all the dates available so we make sure that everybody has a spot and we fill up the earlier session.
Awesome. And just to respect everyone's time, I'm going to answer the last question, and then anything else that we might not be able to get to, just leave it in the chat. We'll make sure that it gets answered. So the question is about jobs available on campus. As soon as you can, visit our Career Center. I will speak for all the offices here, including admissions, orientation, the Campus Tours and Visitor Center, probably Coyote first up as well. We all have work study positions and positions that open up frequently. So always check the Career Center, make your applications. There's always student positions across campus, not just our offices, but in housing and in the rec center, in different departments. We're always needing students, and there are always positions that turn over. So make sure that you're getting in that application and visit the Career Center to do that. So you could go and visit the portal that's done through. So thank you all so much for being here with us this Saturday morning. And thank you for taking the time out of your day. Thank you so much. And you can visit our website for additional Coyote Connect Next Step sessions. But thank you, and you all have a great rest of your weekend.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.